Hey Paris. I love this boot. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be the only one that's a good quality size image. See how small this is? In fact, you can't even see this. So when they're this small in a file like this, that means they're going to be eensy beensy when you put them into a 300 DPI Photoshop file. Yeah, I would definitely look for some other ones. See, when I zoom them in to actually, I don't even know what that is. You can't see it. But see how blurry that's getting? And this one too, you can't use anything with a watermark on it. This one might be okay, but I'm just not quite sure. I would really just go and look for, this is the best one. Like I say, this will work fine. Another thing that's missing is your sketch. So I can't really evaluate and I can't really give you too much feedback because I'm not looking right at your sketch, which is a problem. So I would really suggest that when you submit this to the Dropbox that you add your sketch and you find some larger images. Where is that one? Oh, I see. It's that thing. It's a cap. But see how tiny? That's just not gonna work in a 300 DPI file. I would get more images. I know the tendency is to just do whatever you have to do, but whatever it says. But ideally, if you get more images, you just have more variety and more fun. You can see all the different objects here, but the one that I wanted to show you, which I think is really cool, is this one. Look at all these different objects that he put together. They're not all big like this, but they look really cool, and it adds a lot of variety. Even this one has a lot more than 5. This one too. This has got some really cool images, and you can see how he really thought about how they were going to fit together. And again, being able to look at something from the side like this really creates a more interesting design when you see a couple different sides. So just to show you how to, and another thing too is that this looks like it might even be a drawing. This kind of doesn't look old. It looks just like a bent spoon. So you really do want to try to get old looking objects. I kind of remember your sketch, but I just don't have the time to go look for it. So I just wanted to show you some ways to make Google image search work for you. So let's say, okay, broken bottle, right? Broken bottle. So when these come up, you really need to, now these all have this watermark, you can't use those, but you can see the pixel size right here, 1300, 1500, can't use that because it's a drawing, 1300, see I don't have your sketch so I don't know if this is a big part, 1000. So another way to make it even easier for that is to turn this tool thing, it'll by default be off, but turn it on, and then you can say under images, you can do the sizes, and always you can make these objects smaller in Photoshop, but you can't make them bigger because they just get pixelated. You can't add pixels to something that's not there, even if you change the DPI, you're just not going to add any detail. So you can do 2 and you're going to get a lot of stuff too. That's a pretty cool 1300. So that's one way to really make it work for you. Oh yeah, let me see, what is it like? I'm going to say tarnished fork. Going to kind of use your vocabulary, huh? Okay, tarnished silver. Let's see what comes up with that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, on Etsy even. So I'm saying, you can get some tarnished stuff. That texture looks really cool, but let me see, this is going to be too small. They even say that if you try to sell stuff as antiques, it's better to leave the tarnish on it. Isn't that funny? So let me say tarnished fork. So again, oh, this is a really big one. So again, this definitely does have some, it looks like an old piece. So anyway, I just wanted to give you some tips on that. And you know, if you do use that size thing, it really does help narrow things down, and you won't, you know, if you don't do that, let's say you say any, you know, you're going to get tiny ones like 600, even though these are kind of cool if you could find another one like this. I mean, you could even just go buy one and throw, you know, make it look old and then bend it yourself. That's probably what I would do. I'm kind of picky, but this is too small. But again, this is a cool image, but it's just too small. You need something way more than 300 pixels. So that's why just go in and turn that thing on, you know, and just say like larger than this. Or actually, I would say larger than that one. Okay, so I hope that helps, and you can do that with the other stuff too. Oh, there's some little curly cues. They just don't look old though, do they? They look too fancy. I really like a tarnished metal. I mean, I think it looks really cool. These are kind of cool too. You could probably bend them in Photoshop too, so that's another option. Okay, so anyway, I hope this helps. I hate to see you get off to where you're doing all this work masking stuff out and the images are just too small. And if you put these images into Photoshop and they look tiny, like little tiny, they're going to be too small. It's, you know, that's I just know because the file's 300 DPI. Okay, so anyway, I hope this helps, and when you do for the final, be sure to include your sketch, and you know, you can email me for more feedback too on the images before you put it in the Dropbox anytime, or just grab me on Google Hangouts. Okay.